You're watching The Noon Show with Tamara Vaifanua, Brooke Walker, and Matt Johnson.
Summer 2026 is a major one for film. Multiple highly anticipated movies, they're coming out all around the same time.
Yeah, you have a lot happening this summer here. So here to tell us what to watch and when to see it, Rotten Tomatoes approved film critic Patrick Beatty joins us in studio. I'm really excited about the lineup here for this summer.
Right. Well, you know, the summer movie season isn't necessarily what summer is. It starts in May and goes up until August. But you're right. It's specifically June and July. It's stacked.
All right, well, let's jump into the list, shall we? All right, first up, you are talking about The Odyssey. I've seen the trailers of this. I'm excited.
Yeah, so this is Christopher Nolan's adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. So, you know, some light stuff, nothing crazy, just a big giant Cyclops, Matt Damon starring.
Well, I've read so much about this. I've watched a lot of stuff with Matt Damon. He said it was the hardest movie he's ever done.
Right, and the same goes for Chris Nolan. He said that first, it's the quickest time they've jumped right back into another movie after Oppenheimer, but also the whole thing is shot entirely in IMAX, and so those cameras are enormous and they're very loud, so it's tough to get any dialogue scenes. For them to be able to do that with this is incredible, but I know what the big question is. When can I go to the bathroom during a Chris Nolan movie? Because they are 3 hours long.
Right,
And I'm here to tell you,
please help us.
This is great. It's not going to be 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, so you might have some time between there.
So make sure you hit it right before you walk in.
There you go,
right?
plan it.
So next, Supergirl. Right? Is this a sequel to the Superman movie, or is it kind of standalone on its own?
It's connected. You know, all these superhero movies are connected. The sequel, Man of Tomorrow, is filming right now. This is basically Supergirl's comic run, The Woman of Tomorrow. We have Millie Alcock, who was in House of Dragon. She was great in that, her breakout role. And in this, we've got Jason Momoa as Lobo. So not Aquaman anymore. Now he's this biker vampire that is also an assassin. It's got a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, you can tell. But I'm very excited because this is maybe like decades since the first time we saw Supergirl on screen. We'll see how this goes.
Fans have been waiting for this one. All right, so we talked about The Odyssey, and we know that Tom Holland and Zendaya, they're in that, but yay, Spider-Man, a new movie is back, and it was just so sad how it ended, so I'm ready for it to pick back up.
Right. Well, Tom Holland and Zendaya, they're going to win the summer because they're in all of the big movies. Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi, and he did Wonder Man, so this is going to be very stylistic, a lot of fighting action scenes, maybe Daredevil's in it, I don't know. But Tom Holland's great as Spider-Man, and this will be the 4th time that he has been in a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, can't wait.
So I know that there's a bit, we keep going through the list here. There's another big film, another big name director. What do you know about Disclosure Day?
Ooh, well, I can't disclose too much about it because
We need the tea right now.
You have to wait till the day, and then you can disclose it.
Well, I mean, perfect combination. You got Spielberg, you got Aliens, you got the summer. How can things go wrong with there? He's in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's got E.T., and with this, we've got Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor. This seems to be something that's about disclosing all of the alien information that is around in the world, but he said that this is a film about empathy, and where empathy is the superpower. So I'm very interested in what that means.
All right. Well, there's another film coming out that same weekend that you say this is worth seeing, Power Ballad. Tell us about this one.
Okay, so Power Ballad. This is directed by Josh Carney, who is one of my favorite directors. If you don't know him, that's okay. Does a lot of independent darlings, so if you've seen movies like Sing Street or Once, they're music comedies, not necessarily musicals, but they have this really wholesome, heartfelt vibe to them. It's actually going to be coming out next week, crossing with Masters of the Universe, which is one of my honorable mentions on here. But I think this is one that you definitely will check out. Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas, and music. How could you go wrong?
I think that'd be a fun combo.
So you like all of these on this list?
Oh yeah, this is a great list. And you know, there's obviously, you know, Minions vs. Monsters, and Toy Story 5 is coming out. So there's lots of good stuff for the kiddos out there, but this is more my personal list of what I'm most hyped for.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of reason a lot of people are hyped for all these, too. I mean, you have the most epic movie with Oppenheimer. You've got Spider-Man. You've got so many different movies that have been like, we've been waiting for this in the theater.
What are you looking forward to the most?
I can't decide whether it's the Spider-Man movie or the Odyssey, like, because it's going to be great. But you obviously know the answers for these things. You've got the answers to the test.
I think for me, I would go the Odyssey. Like, that's probably my #1 pick. But I love me a smaller scale story, and Power Ballad might be the sleeper hit that people might end up saying is their favorite movie of the year.
Interesting.
Paul Rudd is always really good. All right.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Are boomers the real iPad babies? This recent article by the Washington Post explores that exact question. Research has found that phone and social media use among older adults has surged. For example, Usage jumped from 11% in 2010 to 45% in 2021. Quite the jump. The article also reports that adult kids aren't taking notice. They say their parents' phone use is becoming a big concern, for it can often get in the way of family time, even hurt relationships with kids and grandkids. Well, my next guest wants to help grandmas and grandpas build better screen habits to ensure connection with family always comes first and is the priority. Hello to author Mary Jo Bell. Thanks so much for being with us today, Mary.
Hi there. How are you?
Doing wonderful. We want to hear all about what this reversal is about. You know, parents that are worried about their kids' screen time now, but now it's the kids who are worried about their parents. Break that down for us.
Isn't it ironic? It's rich, isn't it? The very demographic that told kids to get off lawns is now being told by their grown kids to get off their phones. This potential dopamine dependency, we're learning. We're all guilty. We're learning that it's not any one generation, it's all of us.
Yeah, so there's no shame involved in this, but you do have 3 suggestions for older adults that will hopefully help them make some better screen choices. And first, you say to remember the big picture in all of this. Can you explain that?
Yes. You know, when you get to be, I'm in my mid-60s, when you get a little older, you've lived a lot of years. And so you know how short life is. And so keeping that big picture of how much time we have left compared to how much time we already had is crucial so that we can think about, well, how do I want to use this time productively? And how do I want to savor this? And how do I want to cherish my grandchildren and help them feel heard? For example, if we think of life as like a 3-act production, like a musical production that's 3 acts, the first act is like 0 to 20, 25, maybe 30. You're in the soloist period of your life. And even though people say it's not about you, it's kind of about you, right? As you figure things out and figure out who you are. The second act for the next few decades is your choir act. And you're part of a community. Maybe you're married, maybe you have children. And then you get into your 50s and 60s, and now you move generally to the audience, which is a critical place to be in a performance. And you get the fun of cheering on and encouraging your posterity. But what is the first directive given in any stage performance to the audience? Turn off your phones. Turn off your phones. So we do that so that we can be fully present, and we put those phones aside. We do the best we can.
And you also say that there is a time and place for those self-imposed screen time rules.
It's true. I did a little informal poll on a device and asked people about this, and they're passionate. Their answers were passionate that there are times and places, and I completely agree. Maybe you have a rule like no scroll without soul. In other words, go ahead and spend that time with your grandchildren, but maybe make it meaningful. Maybe you're looking up dinosaurs or dolphins or discoveries or deep sea diving or words that don't start with the letter D, or just something meaningful that has soul. And then it's a good use of that device.
Yeah, and with all of that, the discussion and the back and forth, you're saying that grace really plays an important role in this conversation.
This is so true. We're going to make mistakes. We have goals. So to give you an example, recently I went on a vacation and I said to myself, okay, I'm not going to text I have a group of friends called the Fasting Sisters. We fast for each other. We pray for each other. We encourage each other through texts throughout the weeks. And I thought, I'm not going to text them at all because I'm going on a vacation with kids and grandkids. I'm going to follow that goal of not being on devices. I'm just going to give that full emotional oxygen to my little ones, that listening, all of the things that I talk about in my book, Welcome to Nanahood. I'm going to do that. And then I got on the plane and I thought, oh my goodness, I haven't texted them to tell them I'm not going to text them. They'll wonder where I am. So I texted them. And then I thought, I better tell them why. Text another text. And then I got there and I thought, I should really just send them a picture of the place where I'm not going to be texting from. And then it was so ironic and ridiculous. And then I'm suddenly sending them videos because it's the Alani Disney Resort, which is perfectly curated for grandchildren.
Yeah, hard not to.
It's a great place to take your grandchildren. Anyway, even with all of that, we're still, most of the time doing the right thing and loving them and encouraging them. And we don't have to be perfect, but we can be aware and keep that big picture in mind.
Yeah, definitely the awareness of all, because it's just really about making those connections. Mary Jo, where can we get more information from you, more tips?
Sure. In my books, Welcome to Nanahood is the most recent one. It's about, think of Robin Hood, but with grandmothers, the title, Welcome to Nanahood. It's all about grandmothering, especially a great gift for anyone who's just becoming a grandmother. You can find it on Amazon and my other books under Mary Jo Bell, like Ringing the Christmas Bell, or Mary Joanne Bell.
All right, pick up that book and get some great suggestions. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome. Have fun. Bye-bye.
The most painful parenting reminders are to be able to give the ones you have the ones over and over again.
On
You know what I'm
repeat.
talking about? You just
Oh,
have to-
yeah.
Again, you have to say this once and you have to say it twice.
Well, our next guest says, make it fun. Kate Mulford has a knack for that, turning those everyday moments into mini magical ones. All right, so we are coming up on summer. Mom and dads are a little eager about this, but at the same time, it's like, okay, some calmness.
Yeah, it feels like a heavy responsibility, right? Like having your children home after they've been gone all year can be exciting and also a little bit anxiety inducing. Yeah, so I'm here to share 3 tips, 3 games that we play at my home to hopefully make those small to-dos every day that you have to do as a part of being a good parent, right? A little bit more doable, a little bit more magical and fun.
So I know this first one here, where parents can feel like they're nagging their kids when they're not wearing their helmets, riding their bikes or their scooters.
Yeah.
How do you make wearing a helmet a lot more fun?
Yeah, so this is one that my family and I created a few years ago because I feel like helmet safety is so important, especially during the summer when we're outside all the time. So this is what we decided, and it has worked so well in our family. Every time we see somebody outside, it can be a motorcyclist, it can be another child, wearing a helmet, we get 3 points on our tally. And I keep the 10 points in my phone. If someone is not wearing a helmet, they only get 1 point towards our tally. Once we reach 100 points, that could take a month, it could even take 2, or maybe a week or 2. We reward ourselves, and maybe we'll go get something that we would have done otherwise, like maybe a drink or a cookie or
So
something.
they
little
associate this kind
incentive.
of positive connection with wearing
They
a
do,
helmet.
yes,
Yeah.
and they notice it more often. Like, oh, that person's wearing a helmet. So when they go to wear a helmet, it just pauses. They pause, and it makes them think about it. Yeah.
They seek it out. All right, and they're probably seeking out a lot of this when it comes to sugar.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely,
so
definitely.
a lot of sugar. How can we counteract that?
Yes, and sugar is readily available. I feel like during the summer, all the vacations, all the parties, all of the reunions, all of the things. So this is another game that I came up with a long time ago when I just had toddlers. It's difficult to encourage them to eat those healthy items when they're home all day and the snacks are available. So everyone has heard of the cake walk, right? That's a game we play at school and fairs. So I created Snack Walk, where I make a big plate of healthy food. Sometimes I'll throw in a fun one like graham crackers or marshmallows or something. And then we put our numbers on the floor. We turn on some music, and they walk around the numbers, and whatever number they land on, when the music stops, whatever number is associated with the snack on the plate, that's what they get. And for whatever reason, they're stoked about that. That's so much fun, you know? Like, oh, you got 4 carrots, woohoo! It's just more fun than saying, hey, eat this, please. Eat these carrots.
Nobody
and they'll
cries
eat it.
if they don't get a 4 or something like that?
You know, sometimes, yes. But overall, no. It's a lot more fun and definitely seems to do the trick.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've experienced this with a toddler in our house now. You got toys scattered all over the entire house,
I
up to
bet.
the bottom, right? How do you get kids to clean up?
Okay, that's one of the hardest things for me as a mom during the summer is keeping the house clean with so many people in there. So this is a game that we came up with. We call it the magic toy. So before we clean up, I identify one toy and I think of it in my mind. We clean up, my kids clean up, we pump some music. When it's done, whoever is the person that cleaned it up earns a prize. So, you know, our prize is usually we have a dance party button and they get to push the button, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is, right? And so something like that just encourages them and makes cleaning up a little more fun.
They're loving it. You
Yeah.
are definitely the fun mom.
Oh,
I
that's
feel-
nice.
Yes.
I feel like you can sway this in either direction you want this to go. You're like, she needs to have the button this time.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, look, you actually got the magic play.
And that's the joy of being a parent, right? You can kind of switch the situation
I was
how
gonna
you
say,
want.
do you like switch up things like maybe, oh,
Yeah,
you get the
maybe-
celery and the PB now because of that.
Totally.
Slide
Oh,
that
I do
in.
that all the time,
Yeah.
right? Yes, you get the liberty of making those choices as a parent, but it is fun and it does create fun, lasting memories that hopefully make these monotonous to-dos a little bit more doable.
Well, sometimes as a parent, you're just like, I just need something new to be able to help get through this. And
yeah.
you don't know what to do until you go have someone show you the way. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, where
Great
can we get
ideas.
more ideas from you, Kate?
Yeah, I post on my Instagram, so you can find me there, Kate Mulford, and also my TikTok, Kate Mulford, same thing.
Well, thanks for being with us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.